The puppet media dare not report. Long live liberty and death to the New World Order. Prepare yourself. This is Real News Radio with your host, Farron.
Welcome to The Real News. This is your weekly broadcast where we discuss current events, politics, the failure of our government to represent the will of we, the people. We've got a lot of news to cover today. We don't have a guest with us today, so we're going to have an extended time to take phone calls in the second hour. That is why I wanted to do this broadcast, so that people had a forum to call in and speak their mind, because there's so much going on with regards to our government and our future and our children's future at the moment. Before we get into it today, I would like to say my dad had a stroke this past week. I'd like for everyone to remember him in your prayers. He is back home today. I know you're listening, Dad. We're thinking about you. To begin, I would like to go back just a little in time, and let's review since the year 2000. Let's all remember George W. Bush, the compassionate conservative, as the corporate-owned puppet press referred to him, how he campaigned on being a big Christian and restoring decency to the office of the president after the Bill Clinton era had been such a disgrace, which I do agree he was. Then we witnessed 9/11, and it was used to justify the wars of aggression with any enemy that the skull and bonesman Satanist George W. Bush chose, while our Congress willingly dismantled our Constitution with their self-inflicted panic over 9/11, and the war with the invisible enemy Al-Qaeda that, according to the government, Democrats and Republicans alike agreed that terrorists now lurk behind every corner and behind every tree. But while at the very same time neither party was able to do diddly squat about border security except pay it useless lip service, then the all-elusive bin Laden releasing tapes at will, on the run, just barely escaping the giant U.S. military. How incredibly intelligent this man must be. What is even more interesting is that the American people believe this farce to be legitimate, while we have been forced to bear the shame of prison abuse backed by photos, the justification of torture by these megalomaniacal criminals that have disgraced everything America should stand for, and how the Christian community were so duped in believing George W. Bush was anything but a traitor to humanity. But before we could rid ourselves of this criminal that got us into these unwarranted war, the economy was purposely imploded by the international bankers that own our government. This should be painfully obvious to everyone now with respect to the trillions looted by the Treasury to the banks with absolutely no accountability. Now we have been given Barack Hussein Obama, another puppet of the international banking crime syndicate. He has lined his administration with Council on Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission globalists. He has reneged on practically every campaign promise that he made. He campaigned saying he would bring the troops home immediately. Liar. First it was 16 months, then 23 months, now it isn't even discussed. Said he wanted the Patriot Act repealed. Liar. Then he voted to reinstate it. Opposed Bush's unconstitutional eavesdropping campaign. Liar. After being elected or selected, he continued it. Ran on NAFTA, GAFTA, GATT was a mistake. Liar. In private, he said it was just a campaign rhetoric. Said he would have a transparent administration with 5 days to review legislation before votes. Liar. A complete lie. No transparency at all. The bailouts prove that. Continued rendition, secret arrests, secret prisons. Liar. The complete opposite of Obama the candidate. So what are we to make of this? Obviously, no matter which party is in charge, it is a one-party system, and we, the middle class, is always sold out, fleeced, lied to, robbed, conned, and left with taxation into poverty without any real representation. I challenge everyone to get involved and demand the restoration of true liberty and accept nothing less. Now, let's all face the facts. Manufacturing jobs have purposely been destroyed by our government and sent overseas. Why? The banking industry purposely made these ridiculous doomed-to-fail loans. Why? Our border has purposely been left wide open. Why? The American farmer has practically been legislated and purposely maligned and attacked into extinction. Why? We have a government of Wall Street, by Wall Street and for Wall Street. Why? Our government has bases in over 120 countries and bombed over 50 countries since World War II. Why? Our government knowingly allows the international bankers to fund all sides in every war. Why? We were lied into war with Iraq, which has cost $1 trillion, 1 million Iraqi lives, and over 4,000 American lives. Why? Our dollar is purposely being destroyed. Why? After years of denial, the elite is openly saying they are constructing a global government, a new world order. Why? Retirement, pensions, lifelong careers, good middle-class standard of living is now evaporating. Why? We have a president that can't even prove that he is an American citizen. Why? Is this more proof that the Constitution doesn't matter anymore? The government has taken over the banks and the auto industry. Why? Our constitutional rights have been reduced to a mere memory. Why? Our country has the largest per capita in prison of any industrial country. Why? The government allows life to be patented and genetically modified food to be forced upon us against our will. Why? Fluoride is placed in the water and in toothpaste. Why? The government is openly calling veterans, patriots, and the Second Amendment advocates, Ron Paul supporters, and the 9/11 Truth Movement terrorists. Why? Our government engages in assassination, mind control experiments, eugenics, coups, disinformation, media control, and torture. Why? Our government is hopelessly bankrupt to the tune of $12 trillion and growing daily. Why? The Treasury and Congress submit to the corrupt Federal Reserve. Why? Are we as a society, as a people, so naive as to believe all of this is just by accident, by happenstance? Then why has all this happened? Here is why. It is by design. The United States of America is being purposely destroyed to usher us into the age of a world government. Global control of everything from banking to the military down to you and me. This explains the complete failure of our government for any resemblance of representing the will of we the people. Our president is the puppet of the New World Order. The mask is now off of these elite criminals. They have looted our economy to even our grandchildren's future. It is time we accept these facts, examine the evidence, and proclaim that the American dream has been hijacked by scum bent on eradicating freedom and setting up a world government while enslaving us here in America. It is high time the American people wake up and take our country back. We're drifting into a fascist state where the way of life we hoped for, the way of life that our parents and grandparents enjoyed, is but a distant memory. I stand here today to say Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. There is no more time to wait. If you want to live free, get involved, rise up, and let's take our country back from the criminal syndicate of international bankers that have usurped their authority and are deliberately destroying our country and our way of life, and let today be the first day of a revelation of a revolution. And on that, I'd like to share with you Luke 22:36. And this is Jesus speaking. And he said unto them, When I sent you without purse and scrip and shoes, lacked you anything? And they said, Nothing. Then he said unto them, But now he that hath the purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. And I think in the words of Jesus Christ, that's good enough. It's high time we buy swords. What do you think, Brian?
I agree fully. He's saying, do something. Don't just sit back unarmed and let them trample all over you.
I mean, if we look at the Obama administration, the complete lies from the campaign, the fact that the media indoctrinates the public to accept him as the Messiah and treat him as their golden boy, it seems to brainwash the masses that they totally forget what was happening even just a year ago.
With the media on your side, I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer could be president right now.
Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to go through just a little bit of remembering history from the year 2000 to 2009 of what we have actually went through and what got us here to where we're at, which is a very, very, very bad situation, not just economically, but for the future of our children and with respect to how much liberty we have left. Because just like we were saying in that, we're supposed to have a constitution, but, there's been a lot of evidence that Barack Obama's not even constitutionally fit to be president. It makes me wonder, does the Constitution have any merit anymore?
And you're, we got the chemtrail cough going. Here, Obama taught constitutional law. I mean, if anybody should understand it, it's him.
Exactly. Well, you're listening to The Real News here on WSIC 1400, WDSL 1520, the Liberty News Radio Network. We'll be back in 3 minutes.